What is the best advice you can give someone? I'll add to this very smart and true comment by saying sadly at that age, for a lot of young people, it's so ostracizing to not go right after high school. Our high schools and society at large are so drilled into the immediately go to college story that if you wisely choose not to, or to wait, it's a big social deal. Friends whisper at their grad parties about how poor Freddie is totally lost or screwed up, when in fact most of the same kids have no idea what they are fucking doing and would rather just take out the $250K in loans to not look like they don't know what they are doing. If you have to bury a body, do so vertically. This way the search helicopters would have a harder time spotting the burial site, as they would be looking for a human-sized patch of disturbed ground. When burying, have a bit of a buffer zone separated by dirt and top it with some bits of animal carcass before covering, so the search team would assume that it was a false positive given by the canine when they are digging the spot up. Yogurt in the cavities would speed up the decomposition process and hinder identification. Top it off by planting an endangered plant on top. By the time they got the correct paperwork in place to dig that plant up, hopefully that yogurt would have finished the job, or you'd be far away from there. Meditate. Try. Every morning. It has freed me from some of the dark side effects of my mental illness. Also, establish a great morning routine and night routine and stick to it. Practice gratitude every day. Let go of resentment and hatred you have for others. No matter what they've done. Forgive. 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 Forgive does not mean you tolerate what they've done or that what they did was okay, but it is meant to free you, so you can move forward and reclaim the power you feel you've lost. You can be compassionately wrathful and stand up for what's right without hate in your heart. Hate only hurts you in the end. I.e., my brother was murdered, but I have never hated the man that killed him. I don't have to live with that resentment in my life. Well, my favorite romantic advice, invented by me, goes like this. Now, listen to me and don't say anything until I'm done. In this world there are more than 7 billion people. From all those people, thousands of millions enjoy watching others cover themselves in shit and have sex like that, and those who do are not few, I assure you. In a world where people enjoy humans' excrement sexually, in a world where millions do you actually believe that there isn't a single human being willing to love you, even as fucked up as you are? It is probabilistically impossible that, from 7 billion people, there isn't a handful who would care about you. So remember, someone loves you, or someone out there would really like to do so. In other words, if you think you are shit, always remember that someone is into it, even literally. Choose your close friends and partners by their character or their life values, not because you share some hobbies. Thinking you love someone because you share many interests is usually the top of the iceberg. Once I realized that, I've met some people that I care about them and they truly care about me as well. Also, don't be afraid to speak your thoughts, but be sure to listen to others as well. Good communication could save us lots of troubles, time, money, and friendships. Be coachable. Always respect that the person teaching you something is doing it so you can learn, and that they also have experience in that area. Sure, experiences are different for everybody, but learning how to go from "oh yeah sure, I know how to do that," without actually knowing how to do it, to "oh, so that's how you do it," can be a big difference in growth. This, of course, applies to things you have no experience on. If someone is teaching you something you already know, it could also be good to listen just to hear the other person experience or see their methods. Stand by your personal convictions and don't let seemingly popular opinion deter you. Do not trust the MSM to give you an unbiased story. Understand the difference between conjecture and proven fact, particularly when it comes to computer models. Treat people as people and not special groups. Don't be afraid to ignore people you don't get along with. Understand differences, but don't feel forced to interact with everyone. Avoid any diet that is completely exclusive. Balance is the key to life. Be you, without trying to be utterly unique. Odds are, someone, many someones, are like you and don't sweat the petty stuff, pet the sweaty stuff. Not my quote. Note not sexual. It basically means, to me, that, if you ever have people working for you and they're doing a good job, make sure they know they're doing good. It keeps their motivation and morale up and helps them to keep doing what they're doing. A happy employee who feels respected and cared for is probably the best tool in your arsenal. Likewise, acknowledge improvement. If you have a problemed employee that is improving, though not at the pace you would like, acknowledge their improvement. You acknowledging their effort may help them improve even more. Always understand that, just because someone is working for you, it doesn't mean that you're better than them. Take care of your people and they'll take care of you. Be honest. Always. No matter what. People trust honest people. It's the most real you can be in this life. You don't always have to remember the truth, but you have to remember your lies. I used to lie awake at night feeling guilty for my lies. I'm not even religious and this was happening. So, I swore to start telling the truth. Tactfully, but the truth nonetheless. I've never slept better. My conscience is clear and I have a lot more people who trust me and whom I trust. Always tell the truth. I know a lot about living in a world that I am not entirely designed for. I am profoundly deaf. Imagine walking down the streets of a busy city without hearing anything. Like you have earplugs in and you're underwater. Just close your eyes and imagine it. I have some advice to give. Don't lie. Everyone has a tell when they do it. Everyone. You're wasting everyone's time and energy if you drag on a lie. Try and be upfront, nah. I'm feeling wiped out and prefer stream binging on, platform, dot. There are many polite ways to decline offers. This leads to. It is 100% okay to be selfish with your time. If you are introverted and you need time in the cave to decompress after a day of peopling, do it. You are an extrovert and prefer hanging out with your best friend or whoever comes across your serendipitous path, go do what you like. Trust, but verify. A good way to gauge people is to verify the things they talk about. If they are consistently accurate or close to it, they are reliable. This leads to my last advice. It is absolutely okay to not know. Do you know what month and day the War of 1812 began? No. That's all you gotta say. No. I have no idea. Wars were usually conducted during warmer days after planting crops for summer growth. That's my best guess. Only try to quit bad habits like smoking cigarettes when you really actually want to, not when there are a zillion other bad actions you need to focus on stopping. Gambling too much. Smoke while you allocate your finances into worthy investments/savings. Breakups. Smoke while you figure out how to live for yourself. Smoking cigarettes is really bad for your health, but adding stress to stressful situations will not help you quitting the worst things. Other things people can forgive themselves for while figuring shit out: biting fingernails, popping gum, twirling hair, fidgeting. Unless you have GAD or another mental illness that dominates your mind, do your thing and screw the rest. Everyone has major issues and often hide behind humor or insults. If you're comfortable in your own skin, you've already beat the majority. Do what makes you happy and don't follow the crowd because you think you have to. Treat others how you'd like to be treated, unless they need to be taken down a notch. Pursue your hobbies when stress takes over, as it can save you in a number of ways. Attempt to cherish each moment regardless how bizarre or dull they may seem, for one never knows when their time is up. I would have worded it differently. Don't believe in God because of heaven. There is plenty of people who do it just because they are scared of death. I believe in God. I believe He forgives without judgment. He is the nicest thing to exist. I believe He can't change life down here, though I think He is for after here, but I believe in Him from looking into religion, not out of fear of death. I fear death. I've already accepted it. Probably is nothing, that I will probably die and that's the end, but I don't rule out God and do believe to an extent, but not because of heaven. I would also like to add, I believed in God when I was younger out of fear of death. Then I became a full-on atheist and I have changed back. I don't like most churches, though. I think religion has got really corrupt and that people exploit it. It is okay to not have answers. You aren't answerable to anyone, and sometimes it includes you. My name. Sometimes in life, when just getting through the day is difficult, we just do it 1 hour at a time and in the process lose track of time. It is okay to not know what you are doing in life. Being homebound for this long has made it a bit difficult to deal with this than before. You aren't lying, just trying to paint and repaint the future you are trying to see. It's the closest you are come to the reality you want to be a part of. So don't look at it that way. Not necessarily the best, but oh well, it's alright to admit you're feeling like shit, or admitting a situation just completely sucks. Gobbling it all up and continuously telling yourself that it's not that bad and others have worse stuff going on will eventually eat you up. Your feelings are real. Sometimes stuff you're going through does just absolutely suck. I've learned that once you accept how situations make you feel, and once you acknowledge that you're feeling awful, it'll be easier to deal with in the long run. Also, you're being loved. Mental health problems are hard and important. Take care. You know that friend who is always calling you cause they are in trouble, have problems in their life, etc. But they always have a reason not to get better. And you are always foregoing your own happiness, money, or time to spend with them to make them happy cause you think they can't function without you. Stop that now. Look after yourself. Make sure you are happy, and most time than not, they will drain you. Find someone else and you'll be thrown away and replaced. You may be the main character of your own story, but you're not even a character in most people's. For the most part, people don't think about the things you're worried they do. Nobody thinks about that time you bumped into them and didn't say anything. Nobody thinks about that time in high school when you fell down the stairs. Nobody thinks about how weird your hair looked 3 weeks ago on Thursday. It feels like everything revolves around us because we are our own main character. I just think it's important to understand that to most people we are minor characters at best, and the things we tend to worry about are really insignificant to others. You want to lose weight? Go for a jog/walk now. Don't start tomorrow, don't wait until those new shoes come in, do it now. Dirty dishes? Clean them now. They are going to get crusty and harder to clean the longer you wait. Want to kill yourself? Seek help now. Don't wait until tomorrow, do it now. Want a new job? Start searching now. Punch up the resume and apply for everything you see that slightly interests you. Slay the dragon today, Do not allow it to grow another day. Paraphrasing a Stoic philosophy. You'd be surprised how much your life improves on this simple move. You can do these things. Moving forward feels good, so move forward. I don't get religious on people often, but this is the biggest reason I am a Christian that doesn't go to church. Jesus left us two main rules: put no God before me, and don't be a dick. Fake Christians are Old Testament when they are angry and New Testament when they have done something wrong, and it's infuriating. Seriously, treat all people as they are your neighbor and you will find more decent people than not. You may still have to deal with assholes, but you will likely have more people backing you up at that point. Your success in life is largely dependent on how many uncomfortable conversations you're willing to have. My former boss told me this when I was denied re-enrollment to my university to finish my degree. He encouraged me to take a day off from work, drive down to the university, and negotiate with them in person about the ordeal. Being a very non-confrontational person, I would never have done this on my own. Sure enough, I spoke to the offices about it and I was able to enroll. He later used this line again when he had to lay me off because of financial constraints. But thanks to the same advice, I was planning on leaving work anyways to attend school full-time. Let sleeping dogs lie. Don't put yourself into situations where it causes you problems when you could just let things be. Exercise when you can, and eat well. Generally just take care of your body as much as you can. You don't have to be an athlete with washboard abs, just being healthy is good enough. Above all else, be kind. Not because you want to gain a reward or any other ulterior motive, just because it's the right thing to do. Tell your friends you care about them, hold a door open for a stranger, donate to a charity if you're able to, try to mend bridges rather than set them on fire, realize that your actions have consequences and that they might as well be good ones. And finally, financially. 50% of your income should go on things you need: food, housing, electricity, gas, etc. 30% you may spend on things you want, shopping, your hobbies and whatnot. 20% is to be saved. If you follow these rules and live within your means, you're likely to save a decent amount. Not having motivation isn't something that can be used as an excuse. Motivation is something that is naturally gained and something that naturally leaves, but can be obtained and lost in any way. You never lose all of your motivation, you will always have some left to spend. That little bit you have left is used for you to gain the motivation you need for something. Basically, you need to start with the small things. Even if it's small, and I know everyone says this, but you're not always gonna get it on your first try. Even when you feel down or unmotivated, you still need to try. Trying is the main thing to all of it. It either gives you motivation or takes it away. Either way, you're always gonna have motivation left. So please, don't use it as an excuse for anything. Being a workaholic isn't a virtue. Set boundaries for when and how much you work and stick to them. Being the person who always raises their hand to stay late and work on the weekend and drop everything to handle an emergency when you're on your off hours doesn't win you favors. It encourages people to take you for granted and take advantage of you. I've been stuck in this cycle for years and I am burnt the fuck out. Don't make my mistakes. Don't go for success if you aren't happy first. If you like to write but the idea of committing to just a single book tires you, do what makes you happy and write few at once. If you want to try and sing a song that might be a little hard for you or not for your type of voice, you can do it. If you want to hang out with your friends, watch a TV show, read a book, go outside, or just simply procrastinate instead of doing something to achieve your goal. There is no shame in that. Just remember that everything should be fun.